The following are exercises on the gymnastic ball, basically designed for exercising one's core stabilizers, normally as part of a lumbar spine stabilization program. This first exercise is for training the abdominal muscles in particular. What you do to begin with is be sitting on the front third of the ball. You can see the distance away from the wall that I am, approximately 30 inches for someone of my height. I then simply walk down the ball, leaning backwards till my toes reach the coving. Once my toes reach the coving, you can see I lean my back against the ball so that I'm stabilized well against the ball. My abdominal or core muscles are already beginning to work. I crisscross my arms across my chest, essentially sort of grabbing my shoulders. Then what I do is I basically slowly let myself back on the ball and then curl myself back up. The fulcrum point should be at approximately just below my ribs, above my belly button. I let myself back, I curl myself up. As you can see, the idea is to let my spine flex and extend using the strength of my abdominal muscles, not moving my pelvis, not using my hip muscles to help. The next exercise I'm going to demonstrate is called the bridge. And the bridge involves you rolling out and resting on your head and shoulders on the ball. I'll demonstrate. From this position, I'm going to walk out on the ball, lying back as I do so, to the point where my head and shoulders rest comfortably on the ball. In that position, I'll have my feet wider than my shoulders. Nice base of support that way. For my hips, I'm going to let them drop down toward the floor. Once they've dropped toward the floor, I'm going to do what I call a pelvic tilt. A pelvic tilt means I tuck my hips under as if I'm raising the lower portion of my hip muscles. You can see what my spine does from that direction. I'll demonstrate again. It was in this position to start with. I'm going to tuck it under that way, tightening my buttock muscles to do that. We're going to hold that position, what we call the pelvic tilt. Then from there, I'm going to raise my hips toward the ceiling. Now you'll see that my hips can't get higher than my knees. If they can, then it's a sign I'm not holding the pelvic tilt. I hold that tilt for 10 seconds, and then I let everything drop down. Now as I drop down, I don't lose the pelvic tilt. In other words, I'm not letting my back sag. I'm keeping the tilt on the whole time. I go up, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then I let it down, keeping that tilt on, and then come back up again, count to 10 again, hold that position, and then let my hips down. I'd move up and down 10 times, slow, controlled manner. As you can see, it's not a big movement, not a lot of excursion. To get out, I simply lift my head and walk up the ball. The next exercise I'm going to demonstrate, we commonly refer to as the Superman. And the Superman is basically an exercise trying to train your back and hip muscles with you on your stomach on the ball. To begin the movement, I have the ball pressed up against me and I'm kneeling. My feet are wide on the wall behind me, so I have a wide base of support. What I then do is I simply roll over the ball, still keeping the ball tucked well underneath me, as you can see. My hands come out to the sides now, and I start to load the ball with my body weight. As soon as I do that, my knees come off the floor. From that position, I'm going to reach out with my hands as I roll out. My hands are going to stay low to the floor, 4 to 5 inches off the floor, and I'm reaching out, pushing myself to have my knees almost straight. At that position, as I roll out, I'm going to press my pelvis into the ball. By doing so, I engage more muscles in my hip and my low back as I hold myself. 4, 3, 2, 1. Then I roll back. As I roll back, I keep my arms out wide off the ball, making me hold myself on the ball in this way. My knees, again, are toward the outside of the ball, not touching the floor, but not touching the ball. I roll out again. As I roll out, I make sure that I press my pelvis into the ball and have my hands reaching out in front of me about 4 to 5 inches off the floor. This keeps me parallel to the floor and avoids a less optimal position, still firmly engaging my muscles to work hard. Here we are on the side again, performing the Superman. My knees are up off the floor. I'm going to roll out. As I roll out, my hands are 4 to 5 inches off the floor. My knees aren't fully extended, so I can balance well.
and I'm pressing my pelvis into the ball to engage more muscles in my back and my hip. 4, 3, 2, 1. I come back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.